This is Luke Paulson, the Catholic Conservative, and welcome to the news of the week for October 21st, 2023. And if you enjoy these videos, do not forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe for more. Chief Caregiver Jill. There has been a lot of depressing news, and I will get to it. However, I want to start with something a little lighter. Brandon never seems to be able to find his way off of a stage after he speaks. He is a meme at this point, and it was not long before President Trump mocked him.
I mean, the guy can't find his way off of a stage. Here's the stage. I've never seen this stupid stage before, right? I've never seen it. But if I walk left, there's a stair. And if I walk right, there's a stair. And this guy gets up. Where am I? Where the hell am I? Where am I?
Normally, a handler has to come in and help him off the stage. This time, after he read off the talking points that his handlers gave him, his wife, who is more guilty than anyone else in this administration, led him off the stage. It is hilarious that this is the way that it has to be done. Now with that out of the way, let us get on to the more serious news. Never apartheid. This is not exactly a news story, but I think that it is important to note. Israel is not, nor has it ever been, apartheid. Everyone within the nation can hold office and influence the policies of the nation. You do not have to be Jewish ethnically. You do not have to be Jewish spiritually. You can be Muslim. It does not matter. The only catch is that you not build tunnels underneath houses, launch missiles, or behead people. That sounds like a fair deal to me. If you do not believe me, just ask people who lived under apartheid South Africa. They do not understand how anyone could make that comparison. Citizens can be armed. Black Crimes Matter posted this image to their social media accounts. They are celebrating the armed paratroopers that came down and killed anyone that they wanted. If troops came to America, what would happen? That all depends on which city was invaded. If it was New York, San Francisco, or Chicago, they could easily set up another military base. However, if the city respected the Second Amendment, they would not even hit the ground. Israel is a nation that had lots of gun control. Now Israel is loosening those restrictions and arming the people. Will this be World War III? I honestly could not say. All I know is that if the people had been allowed to defend themselves, the death toll would not have been nearly as high. And anyone who is kidnapping your child would not make it out alive. This is all because the Second Amendment saves lives. Separate but unequal children. California is a lost cause that is beyond any hope. Democrats, as the party of the KKK, segregation, and institutionalized racism, have decided to make things worse. They created ebony alerts for locating children of a high melanin concentration. There are, of course, amber alerts for children in general, and silver alerts for old people. Now there is one based entirely on skin color. Why not ruby alerts for Native Americans? What about zircon alerts for Asian and Pacific Islanders? What about bismuth alerts for Europeans? When you start dividing things up based only on skin color, you are the racist one. Infanticide scheduled unwillingly. I am not a fan of the medical industrial complex. There are good people that are trying to do good and to save lives. There are also too many that exist to exploit the sick for profit, just like lawyers. A woman from Guernsey found that there was something wrong with her unborn child. She found out that because of the problem with her child, the doctors had scheduled an abortion. This was without her consent or knowledge. With medical assistance and dying across Canada, it is only a matter of time before this comes to the United States. Is it that far-fetched that this infanticide could one day become mandatory? Not at all, since forced sterilization has already been done in the United States. There is so much evil in this world that I can hardly think straight. Then again, I guess that is the goal. Coming out day. The American school system is getting worse and worse. No matter how much money we pour into the system, it never gets any better. Grades are slipping, and instead of doubling down on reading, writing, and arithmetic, schools are putting in political propaganda, whether it be trying to turn kids into revolutionaries or trying to get children to read books that were written solely to glorify sexual acts. The modern school system is not to be trusted, and just when you thought that it could not get any worse, schools across Los Angeles are celebrating Coming Out Day. What this has to do with reading, writing, and arithmetic, I do not know. If schools focused on these topics and not indoctrination, vouchers would not be as much of a hot-button topic. I will get back to those in a moment. As I said earlier, California is a lost cause that is beyond any hope. Taking car keys from civilians. Hamas is a terrorist party that controls the imaginary nation of Palestine. We know that their goal is to wipe Israel off the face of the earth in a jihad. Then when Israel defends itself, they are the bad guys. Israel tries to take out their bases and missile launchers, but this is difficult. These military armaments are stationed on hospitals and playgrounds. When Israel attacks these bases, they attack said hospitals and playgrounds. This makes their public image worse in the eyes of the world. Now Hamas is blocking civilians from evacuating. There are even some reports of Hamas taking car keys from civilians. Israel gave the people warning to get out of town. Hamas will not let them, and so the civilian death toll is increasing. This is all to make Israel look even worse because of the actions of terrorists. Alec Baldwin's gun. The FBI is targeting parents who speak at school boards, Catholics, and those who are led into the Capitol. Then, when actual criminals pop up, they are not charged. Take Alec Baldwin, for example, when with a gun in his hand, killed a member of the crew on the set of Rust. Initially, he was exonerated for the crime. Now we are learning that the premier law enforcement agency in America may be complicit. The gun was broken during testing by the FBI. This was never reported. Instead, law enforcement began testing a mock-up of the gun. New evidence shows that the original gun had the trigger pulled or depressed. There are no two ways about it. Baldwin killed a person after he pulled the trigger and lied about it. Maybe if he had moved to Canada when President Trump won as he promised, this woman would be alive today. A foreigner runs for president. Chunk Uger is a man without integrity. He named his media network after those who perpetuated the Armenian genocide, while employing someone who is Armenian. This is, of course, in addition to the fake news that he peddles daily. He is now running for president of the United States. He is, of course, not qualified because he was not born in America. He is, of course, prepared to take this all the way to the Supreme Court if need be. Even if he did sue, he would undoubtedly lose the election. This is because he has lost every political race that he has tried to win so far. If he does successfully run for president, it will only be to ensure that anyone that comes here through the unsecure border can be president. Mark my words. Vouchers in Texas. I mentioned vouchers a moment ago, and so now I want to get back to them. Vouchers are a huge debate down here in Texas, and the present establishment does not like it. The problem is that we keep pouring tax dollars into education, but things remain the same. However, the saddest part of this is that the teachers who do their job are torn down at the same time. The same is true for lawyers. However, if you are one of these teachers who is doing your job in one of these bad schools, you really will not do much good there. You are making the bed in the middle of a burning house. Good teachers should support this, as they can now work where they can be respected. It is only the failing teachers that should oppose this. If you need any more reasons why public schools cannot be trusted, you should take a look at New Jersey. No parental involvement. Keefe Media Group has done it again. Their latest story is from Kingsway Regional School District in Kingsway, New Jersey. There, the counselors are going out of their way to not discuss certain things that a child might tell them with the child's parents. This includes, but is not limited to, not using the child's preferred name during parent-teacher conferences, and trying to put the child's preferred name into the school database without alerting parents. Some parents are a danger to children. However, if that is the case, you do not keep it a secret, you go to CPS. Either way, if the school is keeping this secret from parents, What else are they lying about? Whenever my mom caught me in a lie growing up, she would always tell me that my punishment was for what I did wrong in addition to lying about it. Jesus told his disciples that the one who can be trusted with small things can be trusted with great things. Is this secret being held at your child's school? If you do not know, it very well could be. Suing James O'Keefe. O'Keefe Media Group is successful because people followed him after Project Veritas ousted him. He has been shown to stand on principle and will expose anyone, conservative or liberal, if they are using subterfuge. Now he has been sued personally for a story during the 2020 election. The same election that you are not allowed to criticize under any circumstances, even though Democrats were allowed to criticize the 2016 election ad nauseum. A whistleblower from the post office revealed that the government agency that had endorsed Joe Biden was backdating ballots. Naturally, O'Keefe called the postmaster to get a comment before running the story. He refused to comment. Now both O'Keefe and the whistleblower are being sued. You know who controls you, by whom you are not allowed to criticize. I really think that this case will be thrown out, but then again, I do not even identify as a lawyer. The process is the punishment. Maybe I'm just blowing smoke. Maybe I'm completely off my rocker, but that is just my opinion. Now don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe for more. But before you go, on the left I have last week's video, but you may also enjoy the video on the right.